For potty training, you're going to continue just to take him out every 1 to 2 hours, depending on kind of what's been going on. If he has just gotten up from a nap, he has just come out of his crate, he has just gotten done with a big play or training session, you're going to want to take him out. Pretty much after they do any kind of activity, puppies need to pee. So you're going to take him out, cue him, go potty. He still sometimes needs walked around. Sometimes he will go straight out and potty. And other times you kind of have to walk around with him a little bit more and just continue to cue him, go potty. Once he does, you can mark yes and give him some praise and then give him attention.
River, come on.
To encourage that potty is the first thing we do, make sure that you kind of keep him focused by continually cueing him to go potty, not letting him stop to mess around, play, or even just like sit. You kind of keep him going so that we let him know peeing, pottying, right? That's the first thing we expect when we go outside.
Good boy.
River's fairly regular with his poop schedule as far as he really needs to poop kind of first thing in the morning, before or after breakfast if he hasn't done it before, and around those last few hours before bedtime. So around those times when you know he might need to poop, make sure that you stay out a little bit longer, even after he pees, kind of walk around and encourage him to continue to go. Oftentimes, a really great sign that he has to poop is he'll kind of stay out in the yard when I'm heading back in, and when I call him in, he just kind of stares and looks at me. And that is a great sign that he doesn't need to go. So you just kind of want to, if you see that, give him a little bit of time, wait a second and see if he'll, if he still needs to potty, get him to poop, and then call him back in and he comes in right away. River has only had one accident in all of his 2 weeks here with me, so he's done really great with this. It's going to be really just continuing to be consistent so that he doesn't have the chance to have accidents right now, so we can kind of continue that pattern that he's been doing here of not potting the house and continue that once he gets home. So making sure that he is getting taken out regularly. If you can't keep eyes on him, then he should be crated. He doesn't have accidents in his crate, so that's kind of a great way to manage a situation where you can't be keeping an eye on him, and then just getting him out regularly. All right, so to work on the doggy door, we kind of practice the cue through. So what you'll start doing at home is you're going to hold the doggy door open, through, toss that through it, and so he'll get the reward. Good boy. And you're going to do that a few times just to get him used to going through, and he might not go through the hole that quickly the first time that you do it. River, through. Good boy. Good boy. Come on. So you'll do that a few times until it's pretty consistent and he'll go through quickly like he just did there. Then what you're going to start doing is hold it open a little less. Ready? Through. Good boy. And of course with the doggy door, you're going to have to get him to come back through. He's not going to be able to go around like he is right now. Through. So for that, you can kind of just learn through. Come on. Come on, through. River, come here. Come on, River. Through. There we go. Good boy. So you're just kind of holding it partially open. Ready? Through. Good boy. And then same thing coming back. Through. Good boy. And you're going to do this until you can kind of eventually drop it. So we're going to lower it a little bit more. Ready? Through. Good boy. River. Through. Good boy. I'm going to hold it, barely holding it open. Through. Good boy. River. Through. Good job. This time I'm going to see if I can drop it completely. River. Through. Yes. Good boy. And so that time I didn't even throw the treat. River. Through. River. Oh, you went around. So I didn't even throw the treat that time because what we want him to do is go through on cue when you say through and then reward him. Ready? Come here. Ready? Through. Yes. Good boy. So you can kind of reach in there and then toss him his treat once he's through. Good boy. So you're going to want to practice this a lot outside of the moment when you're actually trying to get him, right? This is going to take practice. So you're going to want to do training sessions like this through often, maybe a little bit every day, even if it's just for 2 to 3 minutes, until you start seeing him try to use the doggy door all on his own. We want to make sure he can confidently go in and out on cue, but also he just gets the hang of it. Ready? Through. And of course, with the doggy door, there's going to be motivation on the other side, outside of the treat, because he's going to want to just go outside to play. River, through. And you can practice this. If you notice he's having trouble going one direction, like he'll go out, but he won't come back in, then do the same game, but practice from the outside. So go outside of the door and sit there and play the game. And that way you know he can do it both directions and he feels confident. Through. Yes, good boy. Nice job. For biting and nipping, we really want to approach it from two ways. What to do in the situation where it's actively happening, and then what to do outside of that moment that we can help to avoid the situation happening at all. So in the moment, if it's happening, you want to make sure you're not giving it any fun, any exciting, any attention really, because too much attention will make it become more of a thing. So what you'll want to do is redirect him to a toy or a chew. But when you do this, you have to be very careful that you do not play with him. So you don't want to then give him a toy and start playing with him, because then he's going to learn that biting and nipping at you actually gets you to play with him, and that that's a way to ask for attention. We do not want biting to be a way to get him attention. We would not want him asking that way, so we want to make sure we don't kind of inadvertently set that situation up for him. So if he starts biting and nipping at you, we want to redirect him to a toy, give him a toy, a bone, something to put his mouth on, but then you're out of the picture. You're not continuing to play with him. That's kind of the main thing you want to do in the moment. If that doesn't work, which it doesn't always, your best bet at that point is to remove yourself by going behind a gate or a door for a few seconds, or simply noting, oh, he's got a lot of energy. Maybe he needs to go outside for a little bit. Maybe we need to put him away in a crate if we're trying to do something that we can't. Kind of give him an activity. We want to put him away so he doesn't continue practicing the biting. Outside of that moment, though, this is kind of where the real magic happens with puppies, because that biting is coming from a place of energy, as well as dogs use their mouth. It's how they play. It's how they interact with the world. Since they don't have hands, it's all about their mouth. So things you can do to help. One is by giving him an outlet for the biting. He has really enjoyed playing tug with this Tug Enough Chaser toy. I've got it linked in your notes for you. This is a great way to just kind of give him an outlet for that bitey energy, especially if the other dog in the house isn't playing with him, so he's not having that as an outlet. And that may come later, but also right now, just playing tug with him, at least like once a day, but maybe even more often than that. That is a fun game for him. It wears him out, and it gets him that chance to use his mouth and kind of satisfy that need. The other thing is just overarchingly making sure that his day is full and enriched. Because a enriched puppy and dog is not going to have the energy for all that excess energy to put into things like biting and nipping at your pants while you walk. So making sure that his day is full of playtime with you, playtime just kind of what I call free play outside, as well as activities like training and puzzle toys. You can see more about this in our notes in the training plan.